All right, today we are diving into a process that is, believe it or not, happening inside you right now. It's this incredible cellular masterpiece that's basically the secret to all human diversity. It's called meiosis, and it is without a doubt one of the most important things that happens in all of biology.
So, have you ever stopped to think about this? It sounds like simple math, right? You take a cell from one parent, a cell from another parent, shouldn't the kid end up with double the DNA? And if that kept happening, generation after generation, we'd have this, massive genetic mess on our hands. So how on earth does life solve this puzzle?
Well, the answer is this really elegant process called meiosis. It's biology's brilliant way of making sure that just the right amount of genetic information gets passed on. And the key here is that it's not just a simple copy and paste division, it's a reduction. It's all about cutting things in half.
Now, you have to understand, most of the cells in your body are dividing all the time, for growth or to heal a cut on your finger. But meiosis is different. It's a specialist. It has one very specific, very important job: reproduction. This whole process is dedicated to one thing and one thing only: creating the cells that can make new life.
The best way to get what makes meiosis so special is to compare it to its cousin, mitosis. Think of mitosis like a copy machine for your body cells. It does one division and boom, you get two identical cells, perfect for growth and repair. Meiosis, on the other hand, is more like a creative workshop. It takes two whole rounds of division to produce 4 sex cells that are all genetically unique. And that word unique, well, that changes everything.
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Most of our cells, our typical body cells, have 46 chromosomes inside. This is our complete genetic blueprint. You can kind of think of it like a library with 23 pairs of books.
So, the #1 mission for meiosis, its whole purpose, is to take that library of 46 chromosomes and create new cells that only have 23. Just one book from each of the 23 pairs. It has to cut that number perfectly in half, no more, no less.
Meiosis pulls this off in 2 major stages. In round 1, this is what I like to call the great mix-up. This is not just about separating chromosomes. Oh no, this is where the genetic deck gets a serious shuffle to create brand new combinations that have never existed before. And the star of round 1 is a little thing called crossing over. This is so cool. The matching chromosomes, so the one you got from your mom and the one you got from your dad, they find each other, they get super close, and they literally swap sections of DNA. They trade pieces. This single event creates totally new gene combinations, and it's a huge reason why you can be so different from your brothers and sisters. So here's the play-by-play for round 1. First, those matching chromosome pairs find each other. Then, they do that critical crossing over dance, swapping their DNA. And then, and this is another key step for variation, the pairs line up completely randomly in the middle of the cell before they get pulled apart. This random lineup means that each new cell gets a totally unique mix of chromosomes from your mom and dad.
Okay, so what's the result of round 1? We get 2 cells. And hey, we did it! We successfully cut the chromosome number in half from 46 down to 23. But wait, take a look. Each of those 23 chromosomes still looks like a little X, right? That's because it's still attached to its identical copy, so the job's not quite done yet.
And that brings us to round 2, the final split. Now, this stage is a lot more straightforward. It's actually a lot like mitosis. It happens in both of our new cells at the same time, and its only job is to separate those identical copies that are stuck together. So in each of those 2 cells, the 23 chromosomes line up, single file this time. Then, the attached copies, we call them sister chromatids, are finally pulled apart from each other. The cells then divide one last time, which brings us to the grand finale. And there it is. The final product. From that one single starting cell that had 46 chromosomes, we now have 4 completely unique cells, and each one has a perfect little package of 23 chromosomes. These are the gametes, the sperm or egg cells, and every single one of them is a one-of-a-kind genetic masterpiece.
Okay, so we've walked through the how, but now for the really important part, the so what. Why does this incredibly complex, beautiful process matter so much? Well, it is quite literally the engine of our diversity.
So what's the real-world impact of all this cellular shuffling? Well, for starters, it creates the egg and sperm cells that are absolutely essential for life to continue. But it's so much more than that. It ensures that every single one of us is genetically unique. That variation is the raw material for evolution. It lets beneficial traits get passed on and combined in new ways, helping our entire species stay healthy and adapt to new challenges, like diseases. And on a more personal level, it's exactly why you and your siblings can be so different.
I mean, just think about that for a second. The fact that you are genetically distinct from every other person on this planet, unless you happen to be an identical twin, is a direct result of meiosis. It truly is one of the absolute cornerstones of life as we know it. It's incredible. And that brings us to a final thought. Meiosis isn't some ancient process that happened once. It's a dynamic engine, constantly churning out new genetic possibilities with every single birth. So I'll leave you with this to chew on. What do you think this endless shuffling of the genetic deck means for the future of our species? Thanks for joining this explainer.